Okay, part two. I'm sorry. I guess I took too long to just be able to pause that or to unpause. So, part two of today, which like if you can't find part one, just go to the one right before this one. It's part one. So I think we were talking about the judge and the victim and shame and how the victim receives judgment and how we can make ourselves the victim by thinking about how sad it is that we aren't getting uh, treated fairly or that we aren't meeting the expectations of the people around us or ourselves. I think we're harder. In fact, he talks about how we are harder. We victimize ourselves. We abuse ourselves more than we allow abuse from others. So, for instance, he talked about domestic violence, and y'all, I'm so much a proponent of victims of domestic violence. I'll just share with you right now. My mother was murdered when my youngest son was a baby, and she was murdered by her husband. Their divorce had been finalized that day. He killed her. He killed one of her friends, and he killed himself. It was a horrible tragedy that it took me a very long time to learn to live with. I mean, I lived with it obviously, but to learn to live with it and be healthy. I'm not pro domestic violence in any way. I don't think there's any excuse for it, but I do think that we only allow someone else to victimize us to the point that we victimize ourselves, and that's something that Mr. Ruiz talks about in this particular chapter. So if you are in a domestic violence situation, get out, please. I'm begging you. If you need resources for where you can get help to get out, please leave a message in the comments, and I will be so happy to direct you in the best way I know how. I have been working in mental health. I'm not as a therapist, obviously, but I've been working in mental health for several years. So I do have some access to resources, and turn this because it does have some information on it. But also get some therapy. Go get some help, because you got in that place for a reason. In no way am I victim blaming, goodness gracious. In no way. I think all of us have probably lived with a little bit of some domestic violence and some victimization. I'll just say that. We've all lived with some victimization in one way or the other, and that doesn't make it our fault, but we can learn to not accept it for ourselves. And it took me, I can't tell you how many times I had the book Boundaries by Cloud, and somebody recommended to me. I should have known that was a sign for me, that was something I needed in my life, with some boundaries, and that was a good place to start looking at it. And it is, especially if you're of the Christian faith. But even if you're not, you can kind of bypass the Christianity part and just do the practical parts of it, because we all need boundaries. So, but get the help you need so that you're not victimizing yourself anymore. And then you won't allow other people to victimize you either, because you'll know your worth. I want to talk a little bit about the word mitote or mitote. I'm not a scholar on the Spanish language. I wish I was more. I took Spanish 1 and Spanish 2 in high school, but that's been many years, and my brain doesn't work quite as well as it used to. But the mitote, I think it is mitote, is a dream where 1,000 people talk at the same time and nobody understands each other. So there's just this constant conflict between voices in our head, voices in society. We're watching television, and I'm on a social media break right now because I got so overwhelmed with all the voices from everybody and everything just hitting me. We hear it from television. We hear it from all kinds of media. I've talked to you about how much I dislike the news, because it's bombarding us from there, and we can't see who we really are, and that we're not free, And so we resist life. We resist being who we really are. And oh, I've done that so many years. I want so much for my daughters, my children, all of my children. I have one stepdaughter and some beautiful, amazing daughters-in-law, and I don't want them, and beautiful sons and stepsons, and a wonderful, amazing son-in-law, but some, oh my, just some beautiful, amazing grandchildren. I don't want to have this going on. I want them to get to be who they are. I want them to be accepted exactly as they are. And I do everything in my life now to accept myself as I am, to accept my shortcomings and my flaws and my beauty and my wonderful nature, because I believe we've all been given beauty, and we've all been given this beautiful spirit that we hide by trying to be perfect, or at least enough, like we want to be perfect, we want to be enough, and then we reject ourselves and we hide and we dishonor ourselves to please other people. And guess what, y'all? I saw this somewhere, I think on TV last night. Like we can please some of the people some of the time, but you'll never please all the people all the time. And if you are turning yourself inside out or becoming in any way someone that you're not to please someone else, I'm begging you to stop doing it. Stop. It's soul killing. It's soul killing. This is from me, not from the brilliant Mr. Ruiz. So if you reject it, you're like, it's okay. It's not somebody else. It's me that, and I mean, it's what I believe. It's not myself. So it's okay if you don't believe it, but be who you are. Find out who you are. It took me so many years to even figure out who I was, because I was so ingrained in the dream of my family, and the dream of my community, and the dream of my religion, and the dream of my culture. It took me so many years. I spent so much time journaling. So I'm just going to show you a couple of the journals that I'm currently using. I will have more. I spent some time not so much journaling as I used to. This is my gratitude journal. This is my map journal that is somewhat based on this, and we'll talk more about that also at some point. But I journaled, and I paid attention to what I was accepting as real life for me, and I decided to stop trying to be somebody I wasn't anymore. And it changed my life. In some ways, it turned my life upside down. In some ways, it wasn't always necessarily a happy thing for me at that moment. I've spent many hours crying over some losses, feeling hurt over some losses, because it took some important people out of my life, but I could no longer reject myself in order to be accepted by them, and they had the right to choose to accept who I am as a human or not, and that's okay. I'm not mad at them for it. Sometimes it still makes me sad, but I've gained so much more than I lost, and I've gained relationships with people who do completely accept me for who I am, and so it's possible. So don't think it'll be easy, because it's often not easy, but also don't think it's without hope of having people in your life who accept you exactly as you are, because there are people who will and who can, and you'll feel so much better about yourself. We talked about the abuse already. So he talks about personality. It's who you are, what you feel, what you believe, and to find your true personality under the dream, your own dream, and the dream of everything and everybody around you. You have to break the old agreements. So like maybe you should think about it. I haven't done this myself, certainly not recently, because I've come to a place where I'm pretty solid in what I know about myself. But I think maybe I will, like, this is an epiphany for me, like, write down what are my agreements, what are the agreements I currently have. Like, I have the 4 that Mr. Ruiz, the 4 that he has, I have them written down, but like maybe I should write down the ones that I come across, including like, I've been lately considering I color my hair, and I've been blonde for many years, and I went to brown. This is closer to my natural color, but also, guess what? I'm 54 years old. I have quite a few more grays than you can see, even though, like, you can still definitely see some, but I have quite a few more than you can see, and I believe I accept the fact about myself that I want to continue to be young as much as possible, but also I want to accept aging gracefully, and I don't want to cling to a youth that has bypassed me long ago. I don't really consider myself doing that so much. I accept my lollyhood. My grandbabies call me Lolly. I accept my lollyhood, and adore it, and would not trade it for youth at all. I've told many people that my best decades have been my 40s and 50s so far, and I stand by that. So why do I cling to a hair that seems to look like a much younger person? I've pretty much accepted, the lines and the wrinkles. I did have one treatment at one point. I guess actually several treatments that kind of like in one short period. But I gave it up because I didn't necessarily, like, I'd look in the mirror. It was hard to find myself in there, and I didn't like that. But anyway, everybody is given, and this is from Mr. Ruiz. This is not my idea, although I did believe this already. I believe we're all given a certain amount of energy, a certain amount of personal power. We're all given a certain allotment, and we use a lot of personal power in keeping our agreements with ourselves, which are the ones we're mostly talking about. But even our agreements with other people, I expend quite a bit of energy on an agreement I made, beautiful agreement. And I'm so happy I made it, but it does take energy. It takes a lot of my personal power. I babysit my grandbabies overnight, like sometimes several nights a week. Because their mommy, whom I adore, is going to school. And so I wanted to help her with that. I had help when my kids were little. My stepmom was really great help for me, my dad and my stepmom. But I never felt like I could ask for that kind of help. And my daughter-in-law deserves all the help that not that she's needy. She's not. She's a very strong girl, but she's a beautiful soul, and I want to help her in ways that I wish I'd been able to get the help. And probably had I asked, I would have been able to get more. But anyway, we use our personal power, and we spend it on agreements, and that are killing us, honestly. Like, a lot of our agreements, I know mine were absolutely destroying my soul, if not my body. And you guys, I had to have surgery on August 28th, and I think that the universe, spirit, the source, I think that was divinely appointed, because I needed to get back to taking care of my soul again. I needed to get back my personal power. I needed to come to terms with some things, get my stress under control. And the only way I was willing to do that was to be down. And so, not that it killed me, it made me more healthy in the long run. My surgeon was amazing. If you need a shoulder surgeon and you're anywhere near me, I highly recommend him. He's awesome. Ask in the comments, and I will tell you his name and get you his information if you need any kind of joint or he did my shoulder. So he does knees, he does ankles, he does shoulders, he does that kind of doctor. It's leaving me right now. But anyway, I just want us to stop killing ourselves with agreements that we've not, that we never consciously agreed to. And the only way to do that, I think, is for us to have an awareness of our agreements. I'm considering going to my complete natural color, because I want to accept myself fully. I want to accept where I am in life. I want to be so proud of where I am in life, and be so unwilling to be changed by society's expectations. This is my natural hair like texture. So although I do add product, I'm wild as can be on without any product, but I've learned to love my hair texture, and I want to learn to love everything else about myself. I do take care of myself physically because I want to stay physically active. I want to be able to stay independent. At 54, it's time for me to start thinking about how long I want to stay physically independent, and that's forever. I don't want to, my husband's several years younger than I am. I don't want to burden him or my children with the burden of having to take care of me. But I'm going to start sitting down and working on what my current agreements that I still have stuck that society has placed on me. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to write them down because I want access to them, and I want to be able to get rid of them. So maybe you want to join me with that. If you do, great. I definitely encourage you to give some thought to it, so that, because we're going to start on the chapter of the first agreement. We're going there. Our next video is going there. So if you want to think about that for yourself between now and our next video, then please do so. Let me know what you think of. If you have something you want to share, I would so love to hear it. So that's coming up. I think tomorrow, I have my grandbabies tomorrow. I'm going to try to do this during nap time tomorrow because there should be a nap time, and so I'm going to try to do this. So, but it'll be probably a shortened version, and I'll go through at least part of the first agreement. But if you have a chance to start going through your agreements and kind of starting to get rid of the ones that feel like they're killing you, that feel like they're causing you to have to be somebody that you're not, then let's get them out there, write them down. Maybe you want to start thinking about, like, what are you doing that you don't love? What are you doing that you don't love? What are you doing that feels like you're having to because it's meeting some expectation financially? Our society has made such a big deal out of having big houses and big things and important vacations, and I'm all about vacations. I love cultures, and I love to travel for that reason, and I love to meet new people, and I love to learn new things. But if you're doing it because it's a societal expectation and it's a way to show that you've gotten there, like, where have you gotten? Okay. So that's going to be the end of that segment. We're done talking about that chapter, the chapter on domestication and the dream of the planet. We're going to move on from that to the first agreement next time. So if you're interested in the first agreement, which I think you will so appreciate, then join me on next time, either tomorrow. Let's plan on tomorrow. And right now I'm going to move on to a little bit of tarot, and I'm going to just read right inside the box here of this Light Seers Tarot, which I use a lot. I love it. The pictures on it are beautiful. I'm just going to, that's kind of a sad one. I'm just going to hold up one of the pictures so you can see it. I do find them beautiful. They speak to me. Feels very real for me. It feels like part of who I am. So it is the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. This is the only tarot I have by her, I don't have anything else by her. I don't know a whole lot about her. I did purchase this box of tarot cards on Amazon. You can find almost any, I don't know about that. You can find so many different options on Amazon. I'm a user of Amazon. Amazon gets a lot of my money. So, and I'm not complaining about it. They are convenient. They're amazing. I love Amazon, and that is where both of these boxes came from. So this is Light Seers Tarot. I just want to read this quote because I promised you guys some quotes. And I loved this one. I opened my box today. I do want you to know I do some what I call prayers, some reaching out to the source and the universe, and asking for some guidance before I get started on this. I did it before we got started on any of the videos because I didn't want to have to slow you down through that. But I just think you need to hear this. And it says, And into the gray we follow like 1,000 flickering stars. And there in a sunlit hollow, we lose and find what is ours. So, and that is by Chris Ann. She says, Dear Light and Shadow Seer, may this deck help you find what is yours. It's helped me so many times, I don't even know how to say. And it's helped me to help some friends along the way. I don't tend to try to read a whole lot of future, because future is so based on, we can change so much of it based on some things, but also it's so influenced by our dreams and our desires and the way we see ourselves, the way, like whether we believe in something, what we believe in. So I don't do a whole lot of future readings. I learned those things, like the things that can affect it, from Miss Colette Baron Reed, who is the creator / designer of the other cards that I have. They are the Enchanted Map Oracle cards, so which is, I will say, based on her book entitled similarly The Map, and this will be the next, but after we get done with Don Miguel Ruiz, we will be moving on to The Map. It is an amazing read. Also, it has been life-changing for me. It has some really great referrals, recommendations inside. Colette has multiple oracle cards. I'm sure she has more than I am in any way aware of. I have 2 of her sets. This one's the Wisdom of the Oracle. They're beautiful. Both sets that I have from her are gorgeous. She herself is gorgeous. If you can see a little bit of her picture, she has an amazing story. She has healed herself through a lot of the things that she's done. The cards are beautiful. They speak to me also. And they're based on where we are in life and with whom we are and with whom inside us, not so much with whom outside, as much as parts of ourselves. So where we are in life and the parts of ourselves that are guiding us and leading us. I'm going to leave them here for just a minute because I want you to be able to see them enough that if you would like your own set of tarot cards, and I recommend them for everybody. I know a lot of people don't think that they are intuitive or that they have the gift. I didn't believe in tarot or really any of the, I didn't believe in a lot of things until way later in life. And I went to a couple of tarot readings with my daughter-in-law, and they told things in front, because I thought it was kind of a hokey pokey do thing. I let them do the tarot reading in front of my daughter-in-law, and there were things that the tarot reader knew and was able to determine based on the tarot reading. Because that I didn't necessarily want everybody to know at that time in my life. So just, I learned that, and so accurate, so very accurate. So I then shortly after that started looking into tarot and figuring out, deciding for myself if I wanted to engage in it. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I spend more time in it some days and sometimes than others, but I value it highly. And I have done my prayers and my readings. So if you are struggling, and particularly if you are struggling to accept yourself, who you are, or if you are struggling to love and to accept your fellow females, this is for you. So this is if you are struggling with who you are, with accepting yourself, or if you are struggling with loving and accepting your fellow females. If you found yourself judging yourself, which if you're judging others, which most of us have judgments of others, right? So that means we're judging ourselves. I really believe we judge others where we are judging ourselves internally that we haven't been able to accept yet. There's some psychological research behind that. I won't get into it right now. But I've also shuffled, but I will go ahead and I shuffle through, and if something pops out, then great. If I feel the source telling me another shuffle, let's hear it, let's do it, and one more shuffle, I'll do one more, and I take what's off the top. When it's time to stop shuffling, and I'm normally a 3 shuffle person unless something pops out in those 3 shuffles. The first thing that I'm gonna ask Spirit / Source / Universe is what exactly is the nature of the struggle that we want to be dealing with here. So I also will let you know, I have read up and studied a lot of the traditional readings of tarot cards, and I use that to some degree, but I'm also an intuitive reader. I've asked Spirit to show me what I need to know here, what you need to know, and we're gonna go with that as well. And if I feel stuck, I will just tell you, I have no shame. If I'm feeling stuck and feel like I can't figure things out, I have the handy dandy little booklet that came with my Light Seers Tarot, and I will pull it out and we will go through that and find the card that we need based on that. So anyway, I just want to kind of let you know what I tend to do. That was 2 shuffles. So I'm going to either, if something doesn't pop, then Spirit Guides, would you just lead and guide me in what card needs to be read right now? And either, what is the situation? What is the situation that we're dealing with in either accepting ourselves or accepting others, whoever's listening and or myself, guide me in what is needed. I'm asking you, Mama, Mammy, Ma, Spirit Guides, Spirit, Source, Universe, thank you so much in advance for your guidance. There we go. Thank you. And we pulled the 6 of Wands. So wands tend to be, I'm going to show you what I'm looking at here to make as much an intuitive read as I can here. Isn't she gorgeous? So 6 of Wands tend to be for the fire signs. So fire sign is what we're kind of considering here. So we see a wreath. Wreaths for me tend to mean a victory. So you've won something. There's a victory either going on now. So maybe somebody is actually doing really well with this. 6 of Wands. She is obviously also, I don't know if you, so she has a lot of lights on her. It looks like she's on a stage. She has been performing, and it looks like she's performed well. She's proud of herself. There are a lot of hands reaching for her. So there are people trying to pull her down. Maybe you're feeling pulled down. You've been doing so well, but somebody or something is trying to drag you down, trying to defeat you. You have the victory. You have the victory right here. See, that is a laurel wreath, and a laurel wreath is a signal of victory. You have all the spotlight on you. You are killing it, sister. You're killing it. But you have people that are trying to drag you down, or you feel like you have people trying to drag you down. So, Spirit, Universe, Mama, Spirit Guides, all of you, thank you. I feel like this is exactly where we did want to be focused. I promise you all, and you saw me shuffle them, I promise you all I did not have this card even in mind. But here is exactly kind of what I'm talking about. Like, we go through life, and when we're doing what we know we should be doing, when we are ourselves, we kill it, even when other people don't know we're killing it. But you're killing it. But just don't let the people that are trying to drag you down, don't let them reach you. Know if you are able to see those little things right back here in the background, their hands, and they're reaching and they're grasping, and they're meant to be applauding and telling her that she's phenomenal, and that's what we should be doing for each other. If you happen to be the one who has someone in their life who is, it could also be that there's somebody in your life who is just doing a phenomenal, amazing job. They're winning it. They're killing it. They have tiger blood, and we're not supporting, we're the grasper, then like this might be for you as well. So I'm going to lie this here. We will come back to it. I don't think I can put it where you can see it. I'm going to do better on video at some point, but here's where we are currently, and that is absolutely a-okay. Where Spirit puts me is where I am, and I'm happy with that. And if I'm not, then I know it's my work that I need to do. And at this moment, I'm so grateful that I am. Sorry, I keep putting my legs in the picture. I'm working at the table today as opposed to the ottoman, which I'm thrilled to be where I am. But also, my knees keep getting in my own way. So I'm sorry if it's distracting. That was 2 shuffles, so I'm going to just spirit guides, mama, mammy, ma. Spirit, universe, source, God within me. Please lead me to the card that I want next. The card I want next is our biggest challenge. What is our challenge when it comes to the fact that either we are grasping and we are trying to judge and victimize ourselves or someone else, or we're killing it and there's someone else grasping for us? What is our biggest challenge that we are needing to overcome? What is our biggest challenge? And I did not have one pop out, so we're just going to pull one. The 4 of Swords. The 4 of Swords. So I'm going to show you. I will always show you what I'm working with, where I'm drawing inspiration from. I love this beautiful picture. Sorry, there's a little bit of a, there we go. There's a little bit of a glare there. I think I got rid of it. So this young lady is, again, gorgeous. She is inside what appears to me to be a nest. And we are all, oh gosh, I say this and I don't actually agree with it. So many of us female women, and I know my husband's a nester also. My husband's also a great decorator, so I've learned a lot from him about how traditional male and female roles don't always apply. But I associate a nest with home, with nesting, with safety. So this young lady is sleeping in her nest. Her heart is tied to these, I will tell you, swords also tend to be for air signs. I'm an Aquarius, so air sign, I'm an air sign. So swords are my suit, and honestly, swords sometimes aren't so positive. This lady is sleeping in the nest, and her heart is tied to the pieces of this nest. They look sharp. I'm seeing sharp pointed edges on the pieces of this nest, and there are other sharp edges here. Her heart is tied to these sharp pieces, and so possibly we are being challenged by something in our nest. We're being challenged because we are either sleeping too much in our nest, we're resting too much in our nest, we're dreaming about maybe things that we should be doing something about. But also these sharp, pointy pieces of the nest that her heart is tied to, they tell me that that there's something that is hurting her, harming her. She's not quite halfway through. Ace to 10 will get you through the entire suit. So, and everything is a bit of a progression. So 3 was brokenhearted. 4 is maybe actually also she's getting a little bit of healing through rest. Her heart is no longer being speared. It's just still tied to some of those things. So if you are feeling your heart tied to some things that have broken your heart, that you feel may have hurt you at some point, your heart's still tied to them, and you're needing rest, go climb in your nest. Go climb in your nest and get the rest you need. If you can't do it right at this moment, find time soon. I'm also a health nut, and by that I don't mean I eat so much healthy or exercise as much quite as I should, although I'm working at that too. But I do listen to a lot of podcasts, and I've been really focusing on sleep, and I didn't get the sleep I wanted last night. It was my own fault to some degree, but sleep, it's so important. Rest is so important. Rest is important for our emotional and mental health. It's important for our physical health. It's important for our longevity. So if you are in any way close to where I am in life and you've struggled with menopause and all the things that come along with that, rest is more important than you know. So get some rest based on this card. So because this card is the one previous to this card, I'm going to say that you maybe need some rest from the grasping hands that are trying to convince you that you need to take off your wreath and take off your crown and try to please them and let them have some of your goodness. So get you some rest. Let your nest protect you. Tie your heart to a safe place and get the rest you need from those grasping hands and the need to be somebody that you're not. And this next one, I'm just going to start right away. Spirit guides, Mama, Mammy, Ma, all my female ancestors, thank you so much for being with me right now. I feel you with me. I feel you with me, Mom. I feel you so strongly right now. Thank you so much. If you'll guide us to what do we need? What do we need to focus on? Where should our focus be right at the moment to help us to get where we need to be as far as getting the rest we need, and as far as not letting the competition, not letting somebody, not spending so much time worried about other people trying to outshine us. What do we need to focus on here? Thank you so much in advance. I'm just going to pull this top card because I'm pretty sure that was more than 3 while I was doing my conversation. The King of Swords. So we're back to swords again. And oh, this beautiful man, you guys, these cards just speak to me so much. So obviously we have an owl in the photo. For me, owl is a symbol of wisdom. Owl is a symbol of listening. We have a bat. We have feathers. We have, let me see what's on top of this. So there are birds everywhere. I've spent many, many years of my life terrified of birds, but I'm trying to learn to appreciate them more. This man looks to me to be a bit of a seer. Oh, focus. There we go. His eyes look like they can see right through everything. There are mountains behind him. He looks like he has been on a journey. He's got his boots on. He's got his sword not drawn, but where he can reach out to it easily. He's being guided by wisdom. Again, we're talking about swords tend to be related to air signs. Air sign is Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So if you happen to be that, then you've had 2 cards pop for you. Wands tend to be associated with fire signs. So fire sign is Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. So we're speaking to everybody, anybody who's in need. But you guys, Also the kings, they're strong. Like, that is one thing about the kings, is that they are very strong. The King of Swords, I always associate with wisdom. Air signs are in our heads, right, guys? If you're a fellow air sign, shout out to you, because we live in our heads so much. I fight so hard to stay in my intuition, because I want to be in my head, and our intuition is not always in our head. It's in our gut. But this guy is a wise person. Hopefully he's listening to not only his head, like the owl here, but also he's listening to his heart and his intuition. That's our challenge, I think, is to get out of our minds, out of our heads, and get into our intuitions, and to be strong. We are so, the king is actually we've finally gotten through whatever it is that we've been going through. And for swords, it tends to be something hard. Usually swords are related to, they're also good, but they're hard. If that little sign means something to you, will you put it in the comments? I would love to know. But anyway, so I'm gonna just read this card out of the book, because it's where we are finally, like, what we're trying to focus on. And I just want you to hear it from, I want you to hear it from Miss Chrisanne, because it's where we're trying to be. So it's intelligence and logic. As we said, logic is our head, right? When we live in our head, it's rule and law. Oh, I'm so glad I decided to go ahead and read it. What we've been talking about, it's the rules, it's the laws. And I don't want anybody to think I'm advocating for breaking the law. I mean, if a law needs to be broken, I guess that's something you have to decide on, but also it can get you in trouble. I'm not recommending it. Clear thinking, strong communicator. The King of Swords is a strong communicator. We air signs, as you've seen in my videos so far, if you've watched, we have a lot to say, and we're usually okay at saying it. I've lost words a lot as I've aged, but we tend to be okay communicators, right? Leaders. Truth, proof. Look for your truth. Look for your truth. Look for your truth. You'll find it right here. You'll find your truth here and here. Sometimes it's here. I mean, we engage this part, right? We engage this part, but your truth is here. Your truth is here in your gut. Your gut will always show you. If you listen closely to your gut, it will tell you your truth. It'll tell you if you're on the right path to your truth, or it'll tell you if you're not. Proof, blending mental and spiritual pursuits, bravery and courage. And ladies, it's so brave, it's so courageous to get on this path, because society doesn't always love it when we decide to be ourselves, right? They want to sell us things. They want to sell us bill of goods. They want to convince us that their way is the right way. I'm coming down closer to y'all. They want to convince us that their right way is the right way. So it takes so much bravery and courage. Here we go. Intelligent and diplomatic. This king leads with facts, rationale, scientific principles, and the logical mind. He has an affinity for rules and thought, and he suggests finding impartial clarity before you take your next step. Always a great idea. Even though he always seeks data and proof, he also knows that blending experience with inventiveness, or blending intelligence with emotional and spiritual energies, allows for well-rounded success. You guys, if you have a tendency to use I for years did not cry a tear, and there were many things I could have cried tears over, but I didn't cry because I stayed in my head. I used my reason and logic to the exclusion of my heart. So don't do that. It doesn't lead us to good places. So again, blending experiences with inventiveness, or blending intelligence with emotional and spiritual energies, allows for well-rounded success. Be courageous in the pursuit of your path, and find your own methodical, confident authority by knowing the way rather than just feeling the way. You know it. Intuition is knowing, and we all have it. Women are usually better at it than men, and I say that. Sorry, men. I could be wrong. but I'm so proud to be a woman because I love intuition so much. Knowing the way rather than feeling the way. I don't do a lot of reverse readings, so if something pops up in reverse, it's usually an accident. I don't always go through them every time and try to turn them around in case something got flipped. So if something pops up, I will read the reverse, but we didn't get this reverse. So again, we have you killing it, or somebody in your life killing it that you need to be non-judgmental about. But we're going to say, I believe for most of us, this is going to be, you're killing it. You've got the wreath. You won. You are the star of your show. And you got people judging you. You got people dragging you down. You got people trying to take your place and people who are jealous. And you probably need a little rest. You need to go into your safe place and your nest and get yourself in a safe and comfortable place. Put your heart where it will be safe and get the rest you need. And you need to be strong and courageous because it does take so much bravery. It takes so much bravery. Use your wisdom, use your logic, but above all else, especially in this situation, y'all, please use your gut and your heart. Your heart won't always lead you the right way because sometimes we really, really want things that we shouldn't necessarily have. But your gut, combine your gut, your heart, and your mind, you'll get there. You will so get there. It takes bravery. It takes courage. Those mountains behind him, any of that he has not already crossed, he's going to do it so well. And you will too. You guys, I'm going to pull one card from the map. It is to help us see where we are currently, or who currently is what part of ourselves currently is guiding us, because sometimes it's really helpful for us to know like where we are. And when I say where we are, like our emotional landscape, I sat down to do an exercise for this myself recently as I'm going through her book, and I found myself knowing that I was coming out of a jungle, a forest that was equally life-giving and life-draining, and I'd been hiding in a cave, and because I kept getting into quicksand. Anyway, that's kind of where we're going with this. Spirit guides, Mama, ancestors, guardian angels, Mammy and Ma, Spirit living in me, universe, source, please guide me to where I need to, what I need to see, what my watcher right now who is seeing this and with whom this resonates, will you guide us to what they need to see in regard to where they are, or who is in their mental and emotional landscape right now? Oh, I did have a card pop, and it is the home card. It is the home card. So I feel like home is a thing for you that is your safe place. It is, this one in particular has a beautiful door. It looks like it's inside a tree. Oh, you guys, she has such a beautiful description of our home tree. Our home tree is where we are when we are in our best place. So if you are not in your best place right now, this is available to you. This is available to you. I'm just gonna read her her definition of this card, because although I do read intuitively and I love reading intuitively, and I do have an idea about the home card because of my recent reading for her, but I do want to just share with you her own, because it'll also give you a taste of what we're going to talk about next. So for the home card, which is number 27, it says, you're comfortable in your own skin. You belong. Oh, you are. And if you're not, we're working toward it. I'm so excited for whoever's on this path. If you are working on being comfortable in your own skin, which is exactly what I'm working on. And if you recognize that you belong, you belong with yourself. Brene Brown is one of my all-time favorite speakers. I think she's brilliant, and she's delightful, and she's beautiful, and she speaks to me in a way that also has just changed my life. But she has talked about so many times, I've listened to so many things from her where she said you don't have to belong with anybody else, although we crave it, but you belong with yourself. And here is her a more complete definition of the card: peace, security, safety, belonging, and all the features one would want from home are indicated now. The home card represents an invitation to experience what it's like to be secure in your own skin, to live comfortably no matter what is happening in the world around you. Don't we all want that? Don't we all just want to not have to care what's going on? Like, we can pray for the world around us to change, or we can pray to be fine with whatever is going in the world. And I honestly think we learn more and become our best selves more when we can be fine with how things are in the world. It's a time for opening your eyes to your tribe of like-minded people. Oh, yes, yes, yes. And I want us to become a tribe of like-minded people. And it doesn't mean that we have to agree with each other at all. It just means we learn to accept each other and learn that we have so much to learn from each other. I have so much to learn from you, and I can't wait to start doing that. Or one special person who makes you feel like you've come home. Home is love, and love is all around you now. Whatever your inquiry, you are where you're meant to be. You're where you're meant to be, and will reap great benefits by staying on this path regardless of where it leads. Home will always be with you. It's where your heart is. Oh, I put the card up. Sorry, drying out here a little bit. I tend to get teary-eyed about things that I find meaningful, deep and meaningful, but here you are. Home is where your heart is. And here's her nest or her home, and it is where her heart is. So thank you, Spirit Guides. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mammy. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Spirit. Inside of me, inside of every one of you, the Spirit is there, you guys. You have Spirit guiding your heart and your mind and your intuition, your soul. Someday we will talk about chakras, because I think they're extremely important. But know that you have the potential right now to accept yourself just as you are, to be in your home, in your safe place, in your home tree, the most beautiful home tree that ever existed, because it is love. You are loved. Go forth and be love. And thank you again so much for being with me today. Thank you. Thank you.